going up against Yata in the first strike.
With the Dragon, starting off with that Royal Champion Invis, investing all these invisibility spells to try to push this Royal Champion deep into the base. Get as much value as possible. Looks like she goes over to the scatter shot. Okay, giant bombs after small bombs as well, which means the Spirit Fox has died. She's, wait a moment. She's going way too far, and she is dead, and he's still supposed to have 4 more invises to use for her.
This is a terrible start for Nairomi, who was hoping for much more value. And look, that Builder's Hut is going to be repairing the Ricochet Cannon, so what little damage he got is just going to be evaporating over time. He needs to power in fast, but most importantly, needs to make sure he gets a 2-star at a minimum. Don't let that Town Hall escape your clutches. Earn as much percentage as you can, because in hard mode, with that much of a miss to start off with, I don't even know if it's possible to score a triple at this point, Carbon.
It will be difficult, but he decides to go with the Stone Slammer and not a Blimp to go directly for that Town Hall, but a nice ward ability as the Dragon split in 2 different directions as he tries to continue through. It does now invest that Invis, which was supposed to be for the Royal Champion, for the Dragons, as the Town Hall is secured, pulling some traps, and the Stone Slammer with a Super Dragon comes out as more Invis spells are down to try to help protect his troops. But he's pulling these traps, and he's losing them 1 by 1.
He's locked away the 2-star, and at least that means there is no disaster from this run. But you can see the Dragons have just barely made it through 2/3 of this base, and percentage is just stuck so far down low. Drops a freeze on the Multi-Inferno. I think I would have preferred to see it on the Monolith there, as it's just getting so much damage against Dragons and heroes all around. Still, Nairomi at 69% finds a couple more buildings along the edges and will do everything he can to keep this war tight against a Navi offense that's sure to come in over the top in the next round.
Yeah, with that Minion Prince ability completely wasted off to the edge, that's just kind of how this attack unfortunately unfolded with the start.
So finding a triple after Yata. We see his start out on the left side with the Royal Champion stabbing through a Ricochet Cannon and able to take down an X-Bow. Maybe that multi-target Inferno up on top as well. And this is going to be a long-term assault with the Spirit Fox still helping out to ensure that the invisibility spells can be used for maximum effect.
Oh, pulls the Raw Champion and Spirit Fox right before that Giga Bomb explodes, which he did trigger, and he has the Spirit Fox still alive because of that decision. So nice choice there as he now pushes his way with these Root Riders in towards the top, as the Ice Golem and Headhunter will help distract while the Headhunter snipes that Queen and pushing that Root Rider right into the core here.
Very well done. You especially want to get lots of good value out of your Headhunters. Headhunters actually have a buff in hard mode because enemy heroes have more hit points. Means that Headhunters get even more value when you're able to use them like that. Gaku making his way all the way into the core now of this base. With the Eternal Tome popped early, he protected quite a lot of troops from damage and will be trying to path past this wall despite all the freezing effects of these Ice Golems. Troops are looking pretty healthy and spreading out again. I like to see that, especially as there's so much splash damage firing away at them, Carmen.
There's that King's Earthquake. Boots open up the wall perfectly towards this Town Hall. Drops the Skeleton Spell on the back side so he can try to distract the Tesla Form and the Monolith. Queen is continuing, still has her ability. Still has a Royal Champion ability. With 2 Invises here, it's looking solid, it's looking strong as he needs to continue through, but the biggest threat is this Monolith. Hopefully he doesn't lock onto his Queen or this Warden. Luckily we got the Yeti popping the Queen with the Giant coming through here. 2 Invises left with a couple Super Barbs. I think Gaku could pull this off.
I think you're right. Just needs to drop these Invis spells at the perfect moment. Still has a lot of firepower from these 3 heroes on the backside to push up against this base. There goes one of the Invis. He's going to protect the heroes from that enemy scatter shot and keep that enemy Royal Champion at bay. She does stab down the baby dragon, but if they can get a lock in, there they go, firing away at her, taking her down, eliminates the last crucial defense of this base, and Gaku is gonna have a big smile on his face. The 3-star claimed with plenty of time remaining as he swags an Invis spell and finds his triple. you can let up pressure at all. Down by a star and off in a bad way percentage-wise, Hiroya once again has a lot of pressure on him to try to perform at his very best.
With that Royal Champion Invis, got to get that value. Wait, he's only got one Invis left here. Okay, so he's not going to invest
recall
quite a bit of Invises for this Royal Champion. Just wants to initially take out the section, pull the RC and the Spirit Fox back as the Golem is tanking the Ground Expo for that Queen as he's pairing in a Log Launcher straight to the bottom side to move in with that King and Queen.
Golem pops, but still protecting for the Archer Queen, and as the Log Launcher gets her a little bit closer toward the core of the space, we see that the Monolith is the best protected structure on the inside. Still have a lot of freezy power from those NAVI Ice Golems coming out of the CC, though, and that Archer Queen needs to collapse onto the interior and get some long-range shots in there to justify this early spend. It looks like that Monolith is starting to take some damage, and thanks to the Log Launcher, should be able to go down, but the main force of this army is going to be collapsing over on the left side now as these troops have been deployed and are ready to rage into the core with support from the Grand Warden.
We did see now, unfortunately, Valkyries have completely run away from these Root Riders to the top side. The funneling wasn't there, but he does pair in an Overgrowth to the far right. Needs to get these Root Riders move in towards the Town Hall, which in theory, if they connect with the perfect wall, the Queen can follow right behind.
Still looking clever and confident as the Eternal Tome popped at a big point of resistance on the top side of the space. Town Hall will go down, and he's taking down big structures as well, left and right. Root Riders looking very healthy as they make their way to the outer edge of the base to finish off that Ricochet Cannon. Another big target goes down as the multi-target Inferno is dealt with. What remains of this base that could cause a problem? We still see a scattershot multi-archer tower and a ground targeting expo in the final compartments on the bottom right side, but hasn't even used the Queen ability yet, holding on to that action figure and the magic mirror. That is going to be a lot more DPS to apply. Here they come.
Pops that Queen ability actually perfectly before that Queen was going to go all the way topside to the air skellies. So now he's trying to use this giant to use the cross tanking, but the Queen can't get healed up at any point here, so it's up to the RC. Oh my gosh, there's a Giga Bomb. There's a Giga Bomb right there. She should be able to survive it. Should have enough health.
Oh,
remember, the boots give her HP over time. Moves in, the multi's left, and it's looking good here for Hiroya.
Awesome job to Hiroya, showing off.
So that's why it's critical to make it as far as possible in each monthly final as you possibly can. Let's see as Yada is now moving in. He did 3-star in his previous attack. So if there's anyone to try to get back-to-back 3 stars, it is him. Let's see if he can get this value with this RC and then recall her back.
Finds an enemy fire spitter to fire away at, and starting to get a little bit of a pull from the CC now, seeing a headhunter pop her ugly head on out. There's also an ice golem ready to emerge and cause a little bit of slowdown for whatever troops might encounter on the other end. One archer. Oh, there's a second ice golem as well. Okay, going to be most of the CC that Yada is going to have to deal with. Siege barracks on the bottom corner to set the funnel now as the Grand Warden is ready to charge in and help out these Root Riders.
Yeah, with these Root Riders pushing in towards this bottom, the King and Queen acting as a funnel to help push these Root Riders towards the core of this base. King is utilizing that snake bracelet very nicely to have all these snakes provide that distraction for these troops to allow the Root Riders to move in and get ready for that Warden Internal Tome. Wait for it. And a beautiful Warden Internal Tome. Is there anything that could try to pull red air bombs from the core? Yo, the Warden ability just protects it all. So fantastic.
Something I've noticed about these hard mode matches is the crucial importance of having blocking troops out in front of your big damage dealer glass cannons. If you have something that can soak the shots from these beefed up defenses, you will get the damage in eventually. We find that the Furnace, a big distraction for defense, now going down again, leaves Yada another opportunity to get even more firepower against the space, but he's starting to have a bit of difficulty on the top side. Still a lot of big defenses left to manage, including that Monolith on the top left side.
He does have that wall break to the top side. That last one just barely makes it, but that giant coming across, tanking the Monolith.
Ouch.
He needs these super barbarians to work together. The Queen is stuck on a wall. Oh wait, that's the clone Queen. The real Queen walks around, But the ground expo, oh, it switches off the queen, but no more super barbs left. And this one will be a 2-star. But, Woody, it's above the 75%, which means that NAVI will have the lead. This is a 94, while the only...
Launch into it, and here we go. Seeing that Royal Champion up on the top side, ready to once again make a clever entry point. The Spirit Fox not yet in the invis. Okay, she makes it in. Keep her safe and steady despite a giant bomb blowing up in her face. That still has quite a bit of gas left in the tank, and Luca's Royal Champion, oh, is taking more splash damage, but holding on strong. Can't she get into the core, though, and stop messing around with these exterior defenses, Carbon?
He's only got one invis left now after that one was just deployed. I don't think he can get to the monolith. He's just kind of clearing the outside, and there you go. Gets the Archer Tower, pulls the Royal Champion back. We do have one furnace that can be used as funneling, but ooh, Log Launcher is going to go in, and a Skeleton Spell to distract the defensive king so he can send a Headhunter and take him down with ease.
Yeah, taking down that enemy Barbed King as well. Lots of pop shots coming off from the Queen to keep that Log Launcher safe as it rolls ever so confidently toward that monolith. On the right side, we see the main force of the army deployed now. Root Riders backed up with the Grand Warden and Sneezy popping off some more boogers to keep those troops as safe as they can stay. Healers are keeping those troops quite healthy as well. We've got still quite a spell complement left to drop onto this base. Holding onto an Overgrowth to get the funneling just perfectly at the right moment. Gonna wait until that Eternal Tome wears off though before he sends it in. There it is on the top left side. He's gonna try to take out this Town Hall first, Carbon.
Yeah, the tunnel will go down pretty quickly here as the Queen ability to the top side has gone off. And there's a wall break to try to get the Queen into that multi to help secure it. But there are the red air bombs, and these healers are going down so fast. No more healers here, and that is the thing. You want to try to keep your healers alive if you can, but there's always typically a bunch of red air bombs near the Town Hall compartment for an attack just like this when you push through that Town Hall. We have the King continuing to the outside. The spiky ball is here, a freeze and an invis. He still can pull this away. I'm thinking it's looking good.
Looking superb with the Royal Champion still healthy on the final legs of this base. There's hardly any defenses left to slow him down. She's going to drop that last invis to protect her while the Ricochet Cannon starts popping off against that poor little Spirit Fox. But up in the center of the base, Luca is ready with a smile on his face. Fists aplenty as he... This is not necessarily a war that is going in All Exceed's favor yet. And yet, Kazuma having to get a triple is not a very confident spot. In fact, he was the player who scored a 1-star in their previous war against Dizzy Group.
Can't afford a 1-star here, but he is using 2 funneling techniques here, one with the King, one with the Blimp, to then charge that Royal Champion into the middle towards this Town Hall. And we'll let the boots finish off the monolith. Fantastic value so far. Going to be able to secure the Town Hall and then just continue the RC with 7 more invises, one by one.
Talk about fast and furious, and she makes her way into the course still with a Spirit Fox looking pretty healthy on the back end. Plenty of invisibility to maintain that firepower against the most crucial defenses. Boom goes a Fire Splitter. Targets another one on the top side as well, and with those invises being dropped lickety-split, he has lost the Spirit Fox, but should still get some great more damage off. Ooh, does have to retarget onto the Ice Golem, and that's a bit unlucky for Kazuma.
Yeah, unfortunately the Ice Golem stalled him up, but both Rages just were there activated. So if the Dragons get there in time, before the Rage up defenses, that would be nice. As now the Dragons are down with this Grand Warden. 5 Rocket Loons, a Rage spell to use. Now it's all about where he uses this final Rage spell and this Warden Eternal Tome with the pairing of the Minion Prince ability. As he's moving his way through this bottom side, there was no Queen in this attack because he used the King and the Blimp early and then sending that RC right into the middle. But there is that back-end air defense, which is what I would assume is what he's saving the Rocket Loons to go straight for the Wizard Tower and then to the air defense.
Still holding that minion Prince ability as well. Ought to be able to get a good orb off once he paths a little bit further down. Yes, he is kind of staying toward the outside edge, and that's good news for Kazuma. He wants to get that orb to shoot all the way through all the remaining defenses of this base and shut down that air defense, ensuring that these dragons can still power through quick. Might see that orb pop off soon. No, he's going to hold it a little bit longer. He does have the Dark Orb. Yeah, he's waiting for it. There, he sends it in.
Nice Dark Orb right there to slow those defenses down, but he did end up sniping that air defense with those rocket loons to help try to protect these dragons, as the henchman did some nice work. And my friends, this does work. The perfect rocket loons to the backside, and Kazuma steps up when Navi needed it most here. He typically likes to attack last many times, but they also have stars also to hit. There's some amazing attackers left for Navi, so pressure is here as Invincible LG is in, and it is that Royal Champion charge. We've seen this attack many times, and it comes down to the value you can get. You don't want to send that RC into a bunch of giant bombs. You don't want to lose that Spare Fox if you don't have to, and then especially finding a Tornado Trap can be quite annoying because it really stalls up that RC. But so far so good, hasn't found that just yet. It looks like the RC is, oh, we missed that invis as he's making his way to the Town Hall.
Delivering the kiss of death against the Town Hall now. The last invis has been sent in, and with a rage just to top things off, he's going to recall at the last possible second to keep that Royal Champion safe. Now the deploy on the bottom side of the base is going to be the Archer Queen, setting up with an Ice Golem out in front to block shots from that enemy Barbarian King. Add in another Headhunter, and that King is going to be going down with no trouble at all. Enemy Royal Champion, or excuse me, enemy Headhunter is making her way toward the Archer Queen, though, and watch this exchange. Want to make sure, yes, she gets an early pop against him. Still looking very safe now, as a King is going to be marching into the action on the bottom right side to help Invincible's forces out a little bit more. Nice funnel. And the Root Riders are going to stay all in one pack along the bottom right edge of this base, Carbon.
And the one nice thing about taking that Town Hall down early is you don't have to worry about the Town Hall shots flying off your troops as you walk your way right around that area. But I do like that one golem that's off to the far right side, which is tanking that ground expo, so it's not hitting any of his troops as he continues his way right on through to the core. But he doesn't have to worry about the CC because the Royal Champion also lured that Clan Council out, so he won't get stalled up as he's making the push straight to the core.
I'm just seeing a lot of troops on the center left side dying and not able to make it over toward that fire spitter. This is going to be a razor tight finish for Invincible, who still might be able to pull off the 3-star, but is just losing his offensive capabilities bit by bit. I might have liked to see that fire splitter inside the overgrowth spell, but as it stands, Invincible can just cross his fingers and hope and pray. He doesn't look too happy with how things are shaping up on the final leg of the space with that last spell now deployed. He's trying to take out the monolith, but the Queen is distracted by the enemy minion Prince, and it looks like we are going to be capped off in the high 70% here. A 2-star, 80%, thanks to an Archer Queen on the left corner.
A little Archer that can, trying her best. Won't be able to get this storage here. It will be too much HP, but it's going to be an 80% 2-star. The previous 2-star that came in from Only Exceed was Nairomi. That was a 75%. So Yada's one fail of 94 is still in the lead here. The next attacker, guessing, might be Star to see. You always wanted to come down to the final attack to decide the war. It keeps it the most intense that way. But as Stars is now coming in with the Royal Champion, gonna send in the invis spells and then pull her back. And let's see if he can keep the Spear Fox alive as well.
Popping off and showing no remorse. Royal Champion takes a lot of easy shots against clumped defenses on the right corner of this base. You want to spend as much time possible with this Royal Champion throwing spears, or in this case tridents, and not walking around. That is wasted opportunity for damage and is lowering your DPS. So Star's finding a very densely compacted area with lots of big high-quality defenses is a great identification here. Recalls out and will do the same again, picking another area of this base that he thinks is most vulnerable to the heavy firepower from his heroes.
And he passed that king directly into the ricochet cannon, but the Royal Champion is stuck behind a wall, and the king's giant gauntlet trying to get through the... Oh, yes! Kills that RC over the wall. A fantastic choice there to use as a hero ability. Sets up the funnel, kills the RC over a wall, which I find absolutely insane that it could do that, as now the Warden is trying to push through the Town Hall, and then the Ice Golems are unfortunately there, and he will get stalled up. Hopefully he can protect these healers through the red air bombs that are probably waiting right there.
Hard to say what good those walls are for if you can be smashed and bonked over the head from across the map like that. Giant Gauntlet is so super powerful and continues to see lots of great usage in high-level play thanks to that ability. Troop Launcher still supporting from the very far edge. That barrel has got almost as much range as the original Eagle artillery. Stars powering through in lightning fast fashion with these Root Riders still looking very healthy and nothing to contest the major damage getting dished out by the Archer Queen in the core. This is an extremely powerful strike, and still with another freeze and the Archer Queen ability left to pop, Stars has already got a smile on his face as he delivers the killing blow to finish this one off for a triple.
And Stars is liking this one, getting the 3 stars for Navi, putting them to 11 total stars here in this match, giving them the 1-star lead. So many stars, stars, and stars, and he's delivering right here. Great job. Now it's going to put pressure, Woody, onto Kazuma. And
to try to deny Navi looking ascendant in this war. An interesting army composition being brought here. It's mostly throwers, and I'm seeing quite a few sneaky goblins as well. Carbon, do you want to tell us what we're looking at?
Well, we're looking at Kazuma versus Kazuma. And my question is, who's going to win? Who's going to get a 3-star? My answer is yes. Just that. Yeah. Good luck, Kazuma.
Kazuma will be the winner of this matchup, but whether it's offense or defense, we're about to find out. Throwers are going to be added onto this Grand Warden Fireball entry point over on the right side. Lots of long-range caber toss in action, getting some great hits off against defenses, but it's the inside, the interior of this base that has gotten me a little bit worried. How far can these throwers go when there's so much on the inside, including a super well-protected monolith right next to that minion prince in the very core of the space? We're going to need to see picture-perfect jumping in order to get them on target.
But keep your eye. We do see throwers, but keep your eye up top. He's trying to sneaky goblin that town hall. So he is multitasking like crazy here as these throwers are pushing their way in. And there are sneakies. He's got him in. Springtrap is there. Invis, maybe? No, there's no... Oh, no. The Town Hall got a shot off there. Uh-oh. Town Hall might stay. Town Hall might stay.
It's fire on the ground.
Stays!
Fire in the disco! Fire in the Taco Bell! We can't take this Town Hall down when it's shooting at us with such great ferocity. Kazuma finds another way with the Rocket Spear, but having to pop off that ability. He's about to lose his Royal Champion. She's low on health now, and he's working furiously in the core to keep these throwers on task. 78%, but only a minute remains. Can he finish off the rest of this base, or will the defenses wallop him?
The Queen's gonna bop her ability. She's trying to stay alive here, but it is a Raged Up Spitter, Raged Up Scatter, Raged Up Multi-Target Inferno here.
Oh,
gonna do a lot of damage, and it is just gonna be a 2-star, which means that Klaus, all he has to get is a 2-star, and it's a victory. They'll be up by a star, but he also just has to get percentage as well. We just have to see what the final percent here is for Kazuma, and it looks like it's a 90 attack, and you completely missed the War Internal Tome on something like that. But a lot of these attacks usually are good plans, but it's just a tiny, small execution error that makes the mistake and causes a 1-star. But Klaus, here you go. All you need is to get a 52% 1-star, and you are victorious. Obviously, a 50% 2 also is enough. So let's see as he charges this Raw Champion straight on in towards this multi, trying to get this Valley.
Yeah, and I mean, what you say about 3 stars and 1 stars, you know, being close brothers to each other is certainly true. As we saw, both of the players who scored 1 stars in the previous war scored triples this time around. So high risk, high reward attacks that can result in superb victory or crushing defeat. You never know which one it's going to be until the 3 minutes are over, and that's what makes Clash of Clans so exciting to watch. It's such a nail biter to the very finish, especially in hard mode for these esports players. So Klaus now shaping up the left side of the base and carving a big chunk out of Kazuma's setup. Finds a log launcher to roll directly toward that town hall and start looking for an easy wall to crack through so that these heroes can get even more damage in. Earthquake boots and a spiky ball bouncing all around give a lot of value for that Barb King. And he's going to make his way over toward that enemy queen, trying to get a few shots against her.
Oh man, that multi just never went down. The log launcher took so much damage from it, especially when the rage spell, the defensive side was there. Queen ability also opens. Log launcher didn't open up too much of the walls in the core, so Queen looks like she's stalling up, trying to get these Root Riders to path to the town hall. As long as he gets that 52%, he is good. He's got plenty of troops. He'll be enough with the Warden and Eternal Tome. And now the Queen is trying to come back around here, and the healers actually transfer off to her. But I gotta assume that the healers won't survive much longer, as a bunch of red air bombs are gonna be right there.
Well, he has scored the 2 stars, and that will confirm victory for Navi as Klaus seeks the triple in this last minute of the war for him. He finds that there's just a little bit standing left in his way. Can the heroes round out this base and make it to the back side, where still a minion prince is going to be left on defenses? It looks like the Queen and Royal Champion have gone down back to back, and there's not going to be much more for offense to try to finish this one off. Klaus drops what still remains in his army camps, and looking for a middling 80% hit, does finish off for a victory after all.
But that is still 3 triples that came in from Navi, which was Gaku, Stars, and Kazuma all tripling, and that's going to put them to the 13. And
before we get back there, we still have another elimination match that's going to be queued up next for us, Carbon.
They will fix, as that is the next match that we are getting into, as the winner of this will be